as soon as your head pops in, they'll start the stream, send out the push. So.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. So just start talking?
Yeah.
All right. They can hear me then?
Yes, they can.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Here we go in 3, 2. All right, we are tracking lake effect snow here in Northeast Ohio. It's been on and off all day long. Right now, ramping back up here into the afternoon and evening hours. We have seen some strong lake effect snow, especially parts of Lorain and Medina County here throughout, especially earlier this morning. It kind of laid off for a little bit, and then it started back up here about an hour or so ago. And we've been seeing some heavy snow through Lorain County, Medina County, Strongsville, Medina, over to, the Richfield area, toward Bath. Summit County seen quite the lake effect snow event today. We've seen snowfall totals in Elyria upwards of 8 inches. We are looking at snowfall totals in the Strongsville area that have been upwards of 7 inches. And then over into Bath, you've seen about 6 to 7, possibly 8 inches in that area as well. Now, all the snow that's fallen today, lake effect snow showers here. This is behind a system yesterday where we had just widespread light snow here throughout Northeast Ohio, but the lake effect really cranking up today. And then this afternoon really beginning to pick up across the primary snow belt, which of course is Lake County, Eastern Cuyahoga County, Geauga County, and into Ashtabula County. So that's where two bands, I would say right now, really showing a lot of steam here this afternoon. Parts of, you're seeing most of the primary snow belt and then a lot of the secondary snow belt, which is actually not quite as common as when we see that snow really forming over parts of Lake County, over parts of, Ashtabula County and Geauga County. So that is definitely seeing that snow in 2 of the places that the primary and the secondary snow belt right now. So let's zoom around here and let's see where some of the strongest snow is. You can see right now, Medina County, man, they have seen quite a bit of snow today. Medina reporting 8 inches of snow, about an hour or so ago, and I'm certainly adding more to it right now. Brunswick, you can see Richfield over toward Cuyahoga Falls and the Bath area right in there too. They have seen their fair share of snow as this snow continues to move generally from the west to the east through Medina and into Summit counties. Now, all of these counties, you can kind of see below the snow there highlighted in green under lake effect snow warnings, right? So basically that means that where these squalls persist, and right now they are persisting in Medina County, you could see anywhere from about 1/2 of an inch per hour to potentially an inch of snow per hour in these areas. So if you've been out and about today and you've hit any of these lake effect snow squalls that we've been dealing with throughout the day on our Sunday, you know that they create almost near whiteout conditions, and they can really total up on the ground quite quickly. The plows have been out, they've been doing a good job, but when you get snowfall rates close to an inch per hour, it's really hard to keep up with that snow, and that's certainly what looks like to be happening on radar right now in Medina County, parts of Lorain County, just south of Elyria as well, and especially what looks to be northwest Summit County. So that's one area we're watching, all right? Again, this is typically our secondary snow belt, right? Cleveland, south and west. But we zoom over and we look more towards the primary snow belt, which of course is your typical places like Menor and Chardon and into Lake County and Geauga County and Eastern Cuyahoga County. We've seen a steady line of snow develop about, I would say, 3 or 4 hours ago that has just been consistently flowing over Chardon and then south into Geauga County and northern Portage County. So there as well. So far, the highest total of the day coming from the Chardon area, which is 11.5 inches, and it looks as if, based on radar, snow is still falling there. So that doesn't look to be letting up anytime soon. So again, if you are headed out, hopefully you're staying home today and you're just enjoying the snow from the quiet and safety of your own home, because it is not fun to drive if you get caught in these squalls that we're seeing around Northeast Ohio today. Thus, the lake effect snow warnings in effect for many of our counties here in Northeast Ohio. So we zoom back out, and this has really been, well, I would say, pretty much an all-day event. Drove in here this morning at about 5:30 or so, and coming from the south in Stark County on 77, driving through Summit County, was caught in this band right there earlier today, and for about a half hour, it was some tough driving. Near whiteout conditions through basically north of Akron to about Brecksville earlier today. That's where we had that heavy snow through Medina County, through Summit County earlier this morning. And then you can see that band kind of tapered off. This is an 8-hour loop. Things cleared out a bit, and then we had that band develop once again over Medina County and Summit County. And then really since about, I would say 9:30, 10 o'clock this morning, we've had pretty consistent lake effect snow over our primary snow belt, over the Menor area, over the Chardon area, and then throughout most of Geauga County, and then spreading into northern Portage County and really clipping, you know, the southwest side of Ashtabula County. So that snow in the primary snow belt still falling very consistently. Now the good news is here as we progress through the day, you know, a lot of the moisture that is available in the upper parts of the atmosphere with this system is slowly moving off to our east. So I do anticipate that this snow is going to at least weaken in intensity over the next probably 3 or 4 hours as we venture into the evening and overnight hours here in Northeast Ohio, losing some of the moisture that this system has to work with. So that's good news, but we're still going to see, you know, where these squalls persist, some pretty heavy lake effect snow. All right, here's a live look at Boston Mills right now, making snow and getting a lot of snow. So plenty of places seeing several inches of snow today. Certainly one place that's very happy to see the snow that we're seeing today. So here's a wider look at what we're seeing as far as alerts across Northeast Ohio. The counties highlighted in green here, those are counties that are under lake effect snow warnings. Again, we could see where those, you know, lake effect snow bands set up and persist. You could see anywhere from 1/2 inch of snow to 1 inch of snow per hour. Now that's a lot of snow to fall in an hour. The good news is that usually only lasts for an hour or two before, you know, things, you know, calm down a bit or the band shifts a little bit. Because if you saw that steady snow throughout the day, it'd be a lot of snow here. And certainly in a lot of places, as you've seen in Chardon, well, they're approaching 1 foot of snow here throughout the day. Stark County under a winter weather advisory, some of this lake effect snow is making its way down into Stark County for sure. Same with Mahoning and Trumbull County. And then all the other counties, you know, outside of Stark and Medina and Lorain, Carroll County, Tuscarawas, Holmes, Wayne, have been removed from the winter weather advisories that they were under from this morning. That lake effect snow just not having the same impact down there as it is in, you know, Northeast Ohio in the secondary and the primary snow belts. All right, let's take a look at some of those snowfall totals. Chardon, as I mentioned, that's the high one so far. I'm expecting to see these snowfall totals continue to filter in through the National Weather Service. 11.5 inches in Chardon. Wouldn't be surprised if that's approaching 12 right now. Medina at 8 inches. Elyria at 7. We had a lot of locations that have reported 6 inches of snow. Andover and Ashtabula County, Cleveland Heights, Strongsville, I believe Bath and Summit County reported 6 inches of snow. So several reports of 6 inches. So in general, as we had talked about yesterday and leading up to this snow event, we had said, you know, in some of these, you know, primary snowbelt areas and where we see these lake effect bands really persisting, we've seen about 6 to about 8 inches of snow. Chardon's the outlier right now, but I don't doubt that. They've definitely had a very persistent band of lake effect snow over the last probably close to, well, it's 4:22 right now. It's been about 4.5 hours. So they're getting up there because they're seeing quite a bit of snow in Chardon, and it doesn't look like, at least for the next hour or so, it's going to settle down. They're still going to get those lake effect snow showers. All right, so temperatures, not only the snow, right, but if you've been outside today, hopefully you can stay indoors today. It's been very cold. 16 right now in Cleveland, 18 in Menor. Canton at 10 degrees, Akron at 11, Ravenna at 11. So these temperatures coupled with the very breezy conditions that we're seeing outside and those winds have been gusting anywhere from 15 to 25 miles per hour, creating very chilly wind chills. Cleveland, the current wind chill is 1. Akron is 4 below 0. Same with Medina, Canton, North Canton, 6 below 0. Elyria, a balmy 0. So these winds that we're seeing outside, not only fueling these lake effect snow showers, but with the cold temperatures, we're seeing wind chills that have been consistently below 0 throughout the day. And as we venture into the overnight hours tonight, these wind chill values will stay below 0. So if you can, again, just not a good idea to go out. If you can stay inside here for the day. Now, there is some good news. I wanted to show this because this is our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. And after today and tomorrow, we're going to see, these lake effect snow showers eventually winding down. That lake effect snow warning in effect until 7 a.m. Monday morning. We're still going to see some lingering snow showers into our Monday, but as the week progresses and as we venture toward Christmas, good or bad news, the way you look at it, I guess, depends on how you look at it, but it is going to warm up, and that also is towards the Christmas holiday. So a lot of this snow that is on the ground now or is falling during the day today is likely going to melt over the course of the next about week or a week and a half as these temperatures are expected to actually warm up. So you can see that 6 to 10 day outlook is showing an increase in temperature. All right, let's go back to our radar one more time here. Lake effect snow showers, again, are really setting up over 2 places, right? We're seeing one band that's been primarily in, the eastern part of Lorain County and covering much of Medina County, southern Cuyahoga County, and then into Summit County, right? So we've seen snowfall totals, and again, in Elyria at 8 inches, Bath at 7 inches, Strongsville at 7 inches. Places like Medina, I think I said 8 inches as well. So a lot of snow really banding over those 3 counties, Lorain, Medina, and Summit County. That's where the heaviest snow has been for the secondary snow belt, right? Primary snow belt over toward Ashtabula, Geauga County, Lake County, eastern Cuyahoga County. We're seeing snowfall totals in Chardon at about 11.5 inches and then continuing to just fall and banding over Geauga County and really over towards Solon, Chagrin Falls. You're seeing steady snow. And again, this snow is expected to continue to fall for probably the next at least 2 or 3 hours. And I mentioned earlier that a lot of the moisture, at least some of the moisture, the heaviest of the moisture that was responsible, partly responsible for these lake effect snow showers is starting to move off to our east. So this setup that we have, the warmer lake waters over the very cold land here, temperatures in the teens, lake temperature close to 40 degrees, you get that difference in temperature, of course. That's one of the ingredients for lake effect snow. We've got that strong northwest wind that's blowing the warmer lake water onto the cooler land, right? And then we have moisture in the upper levels of the atmosphere that's fueling a lot of these snow showers. That's moving off a little bit to the east. So I do expect these to decrease in intensity probably in the next 2 or 3 hours, right? These lake effect snow showers. They can't last forever, but while they're here, they're certainly putting down quite a bit of snow here in northeast Ohio. So this is something that we're going to watch throughout the course of the rest of the afternoon and the evening. If you have to head out, just take your time because, boy, we are seeing, even on our ODOT road cams, many, many cars that have just been slipping and sliding around and spinning out, and people that have been needed help, just getting out of the ditch on the side of the road, stuff like that. So thankfully as well, we haven't heard any updates of any major power outages either, so that's good news. But again, if you don't have to go out, don't go out, especially if you live in one of these counties in green under this lake effect snow warning. One more time, that lake effect snow warning is in effect until 7 a.m. tomorrow morning for Lorain County, for Medina County, for Cuyahoga County, Summit, Portage, Geauga, Lake, and Ashtabula County. All right, that's where the heaviest lake effect snow is and will be here for the next probably 2 or 3 hours. Again, tapering off, I do believe, a bit as we head into the overnight hours, and then hopefully giving us a break by tomorrow morning. So we'll be watching this to impact the Monday morning commute as well. But again, I do think that it certainly won't be as intense as what we're seeing right now. We could just be dealing with some lingering lake effect snow showers as we start the day off on Monday. So hopefully the plows will have a good chance to get ahead of this once this current round of lake effect snow showers dies down. So we'll be watching this here in the Weather Center for the next several hours. And of course, Please tune in at 6 for all of the latest updates here around Northeast Ohio.